guys? Glad, for y'all to be back, and we're gonna continue on where we left off last time, and last time we just got done basically clearing the museum of all, Batman's trophies and all that. We left off with looking at, Joker's voicemail. I'm sure as you guys have noticed by the length of this one, this is going to be another long one. And if, you guys only really care about the story stuff, I'm going to go ahead and save y'all about 55 minutes and 54 seconds or thereabout. This episode is basically entirely going to be um, side mission focused. So if you only enjoy the story bits and want to see the story gameplay and all that, you might want to skip this one. But I'd ask y'all not to. You know, it's good content. Just watching like someone else collect all the trophies and side missions that maybe y'all didn't want to do. It's good content. I promise. I try to be entertaining. But and for those of y'all who don't care, and if y'all have like nearly an hour to kill and want to watch some content, stick around. And we got more
There's
Zaz.
a phone ringing somewhere.
Got more of his
Get ready
side
to
mission
run.
to do, and that'll be the gist of it. We'll have one more, I think, interaction with Zaz. We'll answer one more of his telephones, and we'll do the Mr. Freeze's side mission, as y'all will remember from episode 10. At the end of his boss fight, he asked us to find his wife. So we'll be doing that this episode, and in between all of that will be a whole lot of looking and collecting Riddler's stuff, more of his stuff. And we'll be revisiting some older locations and getting some Riddler trophies we couldn't.
They called him the Penguin, even back then. He had both eyes, of course. That little accident hadn't happened yet. And both of them were looking at me when I put down my cards. 6 of clubs. 6 of diamonds. He looked scared. He leaned forward and I could smell the cigar stench on his breath. The 6 of spades and finally the 6 of hearts. I felt good. And then he started laughing. He belched out smoke and he put his cards down on the table. Card by card, my heart sank. A 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a damn 7! Straight flush ended me there. I was lost and thrown out into the city to die. Penniless.
And also we'll be doing a bit more of the Watcher in the Wings side mission as well. That'll be, the guy that we've seen around on rooftops observing Batman. We'll be progressing that guy's side mission a little bit as well. But that'll be a bit, closer towards the end of the episode. So, it won't all be, Riddler stuff, but it will be about, 90-ish% of the main content we will be doing for this episode. And I know that can be a little monotonous, just watching content, you know, of a guy, just going around the city collecting a bunch of question mark trophies. But you know, I had fun recording it
It's the bat.
and editing it. If that's any constellation, all you guys have to do is just watch it. But right here, I try to keep it entertaining as well. Get plenty of combat as well, so it's not all
Do you realize how
boring.
many bones you've got
Hopefully.
left for me to break? Oh God, please don't hurt me. I'll tell you what I know.
And yeah, we got some more Riddler secrets for the subway and industrial district. And yeah, and I believe, yeah, for this first little bit, we will be, just finishing up basically almost all the Riddler trophies in the Park Row area of the map. And then we go after a few more Riddler informants. Then eventually we head back down into the subway to go back under the Wonder Tower, go under there, and we get the Riddler trophy that was in Wonder City that was behind a mine that we couldn't get to because we didn't have the disruptor, so we'll get that one. And then I guess if you want to call it story content, we do get a little bit of dialogue, like another voicemail from Joker. Once we get to the industrial district, he'll give us another call. So and we'll hear some smack talk from some of Joker's guys around the industrial district. They'll kind of be bootlicking Joker, and they'll kind of be trying to talk down Batman, because they'll clearly have heard the rumors, and I'm sure Joker has had Harley, and keep all his guys informed that Batman's been poisoned and all that. So they'll be talking a little braver than they usually would be. We don't do a bunch of correcting the thugs' incorrect opinions that Batman is making mistakes and all of that. On some of their dialogues in the industrial area, but don't worry, we'll do plenty of that once we continue the story into the steel mill in the next episode. Don't y'all worry. We'll do plenty of that. But for this one, just gotta take some time and clear the map of all those pesky, annoying Riddler trophies. So, and I know in the last episode I said I grabbed this one, but I guess I didn't. I didn't notice it during the gameplay because I guess at that moment I genuinely thought I had picked this one up, but I guess I didn't. I thought I had, but ain't really a problem. Just gotta redo it. Ain't like this is a hard one to get or anything. You just gotta make another ice platform, and make another one to get that third one that's all the way off to the side because the ice platform just ain't big enough. And move it a little closer over to it. And, you just gotta make sure you get the explosive gel on there and stand on the pressure pad. And just detonate. And make sure you actually pick up the trophy. I think what happened last episode is I think I hit the X button a little too fast on it before the cage had opened, and I guess I thought I had hit the button to collect it, and I guess I just assumed I had grabbed it without checking and making sure. But anyway, we got that one. We come back to the GCPD building and grab that one right there. And there's another one over here under the teddy bear factory. We would have needed the at the bare minimum, we couldn't have gotten this one without first getting past the Mr. Freeze spot. Don't really think there would have been any way to have gotten this one without that one. I know that there's some of these Riddler trophies you can kind of cheese a little bit if you're kind of good at the game with the gliding and all of that. If you're either persistent or really lucky, you can get some of these ones that look like they're meant to be gotten using the freeze blast and like the line launcher. If you're but if you're really good, you really don't need some of those later gadgets. If you're really good though, and there's a few of those like like that around the city. If you're really good, you can kind of get them a bit earlier than what the game is probably intending for you to do them in. But yeah, at this point, I believe we're done like in the amusement mile for this for right now at least. And at this point, we begin making our way back to the subway and go underground again to get into Wonder City and under Wonder Tower. And if you guys just want to skip ahead a little bit of all the flying around the city and all that, and don't want to watch like every bit of the flying around the city and all that, I mean, it won't hurt my feelings none. So I know it's a long video and there's not a whole lot of content for this episode, and I know some of y'all probably don't have the time to watch all 55 minutes of it. So if you just want to skip ahead a little bit and all that, it won't hurt my feelings none. So yeah, and here we are. We're made it back to the Bowery, and we're gonna get down into the subway area, and we're gonna get some more of those Riddler trophies down in the underground map area. And I suppose, and here, right here, I think I think the game just straight up robbed me there. I think like some of the invisible walls or something, couldn't get that guy with the glide kick, but suppose the stealthy approach was better. It didn't alert any of his friends, so would have yes, the stealthy way would have been faster. Wouldn't have alerted anyone else unnecessarily. And there, that Tiger, that's one of the Tiger control panels, which we can't get in there until we get basically 95% of the way through the main story, I guess, or just about. And you can't get that one until after you get done with the Protocol 10, because the henchmen are there's henchmen hiding down in the subway and they locked off the gate. So it's like anyone trying to 100% the game, all the side content before the end of the game, the developers were one step ahead and they said no, no, no. You gotta have some post main story content to do. So we got another, predator encounter, like in last episode, guys, just to make it feel, more alive, more lived in, that, that the inmates all don't just vanish or anything like that. But, unlike last episode, Joker does have these guys on heartbeat monitor, so he will inform them when you knock one of them out. And here, as y'all probably saw there, I aim at that guy, and then he starts moving. Then I aim at him again. I change my mind in here, just get ready to throw smoke, but want to do things a little smarter than that. After all, Batman is allergic to bullets. So we disable their guns and drop a smoke pellet right on top of them, have them panic. Since none of them have thermal goggles, they can't see Batman. So that way we can take out those two guys, and then we can interrogate the last guy in peace.
You don't. I'll talk.
That was never in doubt.
And there we go. We got more Riddler secrets for the Industrial District and for the Steel. And we will be, clearing, some of the area in the Steel, in the Industrial District as well in this episode. That'll be a bit later. And down here, as some of y'all will remember or recall, there was a Riddler trophy we couldn't get, but we can get that one now. We got some more, character trophies there. I believe those were some of Penguin's men who had switched sides to Joker's crew. And back here in the collapsed street, I don't think I pointed it out, but there's some Riddler trophies here that we can't get on our initial run through. There's one right there. There's another down in the water that we can't get. We can get it now because we have the freeze blast. Grab that one. And we got all the other ones here on our first run through, and we got another character trophy there for the assassin. And we got another predator encounter. In this one, we get through this one a little faster, so I don't think it won't be as long as the other one. So yeah, here I don't waste really any time. I just really start picking them off, before Joker really starts to get their attention. Just really keeping an eye on them, since Joker at this point has got them moving. Grab that guy with an inverted tape. Hang him up by his toes. Turn his gun off. And we want to dive bomb this guy. Yeah, and I'm sorry though, I still believe that, a guy who's 6'2", 210 pounds, dive bombing you like that would knock you out regardless.
Riddler? Yeah, no problem.
But that's just me. And there we go. We got more secrets added to the map for the steel mill. And then, we do a little more upgrading. I think we do Catwoman. Yeah, we do. We get some more of Selina's upgrades. The final rank of her combat armor. There we can see even more of the Riddler trophies and all of that for Wonder Wonder City. But those ones aren't in Wonder City. Those ones are actually more so for the Bowery area on the tower. But we'll get to that much later into the game once we start climbing the tower. And we can run back down here and get the Riddler trophy. When we first came through here, we scanned it so we can get it now thanks to the Mind Disruptor upgrade. Got more concept art for the Mechanical Guardians. And it's a long walk back, but it's a good thing we got the line launcher so we don't have to walk, we can just zip on through. And I hate the fact that there was an invisible wall right there for the collision on that inmate.
Are you intrigued?
But yeah, now that we're done down here in, beneath the, at least for the time being, at least all the ones we can get, for right now at least, we will, I believe at this point, we will begin making our way over to the industrial district and do a bit of Riddler trophy cleanup over there in the industrial district now. We just got to make our way back out. And if you guys are enjoying the series so far up to this point, maybe you'll consider liking, and maybe share the video with a friend and share it around, and maybe even hitting the red button maybe if you guys are enjoying it and want to stay up to date. Maybe just maybe food for thought. Maybe it's free, it's easy, takes like 2 seconds. Maybe even maybe you can leave a comment. I'm open to any feedback or constructive criticism. But if you do, leave a comment. All I'd ask is to be respectful in the comments, and if y'all start a conversation with each other, at least be civil. Ain't no reason to get mean or hateful, with each other. If y'all end up disagreeing with, with someone else's opinion, ain't no reason to get hateful and all that. But at least try to be civil. We're all adults here, or at least should be at least, or at least act like it. But yeah, so yeah, now we've done made it out. And I think now we're going to start making our way over to the industrial district. Unless I'm not misremembering the order in which I did this. Checking the map, all that, just looking, double checking my mental map in my head as well. And earlier, that Tiger console down in the subway. That one, the only thing that's behind that door is a single Riddler trophy, and if you do like 99% of everything else to do with the Riddler in the game before you beat the main story, that will be the singular Riddler trophy that you cannot get before beating the main story campaign. There will be that one Riddler trophy that you can't get before beating the main campaign. It's annoying, it is irritating, it is frustrating, and the devs knew exactly what they were doing. They, and whichever of the devs who did that, come on, man. Why'd you have to do that? Why? You just woke up that day, did someone spit in your coffee or something? Or someone not get your order right at McDonald's or something for morning breakfast or something, or Dunkin' Donuts. Come on, man. Why? Why'd you have to do that? Why'd you wake up that morning and choose violence?
Tell me what I need to know or get ready to hurt.
Please don't hurt me. I'll talk.
Of course you will.
And there are even more secrets added for the map and the steel mill. But also, on that other point, it's one thing for whichever dev to have thought of that. Then it's another for whichever dev, or even the game director Seft and Hill to have approved that, and or whichever executive or whoever, whoever approved that. Who messed up your order at a Dunkin' Donuts or McDonald's or which side of the bed did you wake up on wrong that morning? Why? Why'd y'all have to do that? Just to make us suffer? Just to make us suffer? Why? And here the sniper, he saw me, but there the last second as I was about to bonk him on the head with the remote control battering, he looked away, so we can just get up behind him and just, completely flip him over onto his stomach, and we can knock him out, and then we will knock out each of his friends. And yes, I did see the telephone ringing there for Zaz's side mission. We'll get to that, but that'll be near the end. Well, no, it won't. Well, I mean, no, it will be near the end, but that will be the very last thing we do in this episode. And it will end on a cliffhanger because I get, really close to, not entirely running out of recording time for this episode, but I don't know. I still had like 5 minutes left worth of recording, but I didn't want to. I just didn't want to go that extra little bit for it for some reason. Just more. Just like still trying to figure out all the proper video length and all that. I mean, looking back at it, I very easily could have gotten that phone call with Zaz in the recording as well, then ended it. Just looking back at it, but I mean, it's whatever. Made for slightly interesting content, I think, though, in my opinion. So far in this playthrough, I don't think I've had a game over yet. So any of y'all wondering for that, that hasn't happened yet. I haven't been beaten. So there's that. And and these guys, just take all these guys out. Boop him in the stomach, then on the head. Then punch him in the tailbone.
This can be as easy or as painful as you like.
No, don't hurt me. I'll tell you everything.
I knew you would.
And again, we got more Riddler secrets for the steel mill. And yeah, here is, if you guys have never played it before, this is the warehouse where Joker was holding Mr. Freeze's wife, Nora Freeze. And the front door there is locked, so, we gotta do what Batman do, and, he's gotta use a different entrance besides the front door, and even if the front door wasn't locked, I mean, come on, guys, this is Batman. He ain't gonna use the front door. The only time he's gonna use the front door is, if he, basically if he either isn't in the mood or what have you. But like 9 times out of 10, if Batman has a choice, he ain't gonna use the front door.
I wanna. It's my turn. You always get your turn.
How about rock, paper, scissors?
Can you even play that with 3 people?
It's back.
So yeah, we got a bunch of guys in here, and this fight is especially a bit difficult because the fight starts with like, guys already having a couple shields, and there's 2 guys in armor, and there's a bunch of throwables, and there's a couple gun racks as well. And I don't know why. This is just one of those fights that just always gives me a hard time for some reason. And I for the longest time, I've just never been able to figure out why this fight in particular on New Game or New Game Plus is just one of those fights that just gives me a hard time sometimes. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because the room itself is small, or it's just of how many guys there are, that already have a bunch of annoying stuff. Either the guys in armor or the 2 guys in shields, and all the throwables, the knives, and the fact that there's like 2 gun racks in this room. And I guess like the size of the room as well. It's not a very big room. But yeah, there as it was, there as it goes. Nora is safe, and we unlock the door for Victor. We can go back and we can let him know his wife is safe. And here, there's this is me just completing another Riddler challenge for having to perform 5 consecutive line launches without touching the ground. That's what I'm doing here. See, there it goes. Perform 5 consecutive line launches without touching the ground. So yeah, that one, not too hard. It's, actually, really easy to do. You could do that one either right there where I was, or you could do it like in, the city area proper with all the buildings. Would probably be just as easy, if not easier, there in the city. But yeah, here back at the GCPD, we can let Victor know that Nora is safe and he can go to her and where to find her. And also, after you guys leave the building, if you pay attention, you can see the trail that Victor takes,
I found her,
getting
She's safe.
over the water.
Nora, where is she?
She was locked up in warehouse 5B in the Falcone shipping yard. She's safe, Victor. You can go to her.
Thank you, Batman. I doubted you. I am sorry.
And there we go. We complete the Nora side mission. And we get another character trophy. Mr. Freeze wearing his suit. And I don't know if I directly look at it in this playthrough, but with Victor, the path he takes, going across the water with his freeze gun. So I just go ahead and do that now. That next time you reload the, you reload the cell outside. If you head back to the GCPD building and kind of look behind it, kind of the same way that Batman goes out, you'll see a trail of ice, and that was the path that Victor took to get to the Falcone shipyard warehouse. And we will see their story, Victor and Nora's, concluded as DLC in Arkham Knight. So you guys can look forward to that when we get there. I don't know if that's what we're going to play next, or if I want to, start another series as well. I mean, gonna start another series regardless. Just don't know if I want to start one, if I want to go ahead and finish up the three Arkham, the three Arkham games that I can play right now on PlayStation, or, you know, save Arkham Knight for later and, you know, start something else. And then go back to finish up Arkham Knight later. Um, I'd really appreciate it, though, if you guys leave your thoughts on that. If you would want to see me go ahead and finish up the, you know, parts of the Arkham saga that I'm able to right now, or if y'all want to see something else before I finish with Arkham Knight, or if y'all care at all. So yeah, with that done there, we got that trophy there, and now I believe for the rest of this episode, we'll be spending time in the industrial district now. And if you guys have made it this far into the episode, you guys got some either not a whole bunch going on, or you guys got a bunch of time to kill and spending y'all's morning, afternoon, or evening with me. And I hope I've been able to be entertaining for y'all. And watching me do a bunch of side missions. But yeah, we got one there under the bridge. We got one on the boat there, a little tugboat, I suppose, a little fishing boat for Falcone. The Falcone family there for the Arkham stories, and you guys know what I'm gonna say, or would say. There's all of Zaz's phone calls there.
It was bad at Blackgate. This place is way worse.
Which one I go after next, but we just spend the next bit here, just cleaning up the industrial district, with all the Riddler trophies. That one is a,
They're insane.
Here's me just forgetting that this is, that one's for Catwoman. We can get the one that's right next to it, though, in the next building over. Gotta get this one with the Mind Disruptor upgrade and the Freeze Blast. Gotta turn off some steam and detonate some mines here for this one. And miss the quick time throw. I'm gonna grab the trophy, another 200 XP. Got more concept art for the Abramovich twins, Hammer and Sickle. And we look at the map again. We get that one and that other breakable object there on the map. That's another balloon.
Who's here 24/7?
Yeah,
We can thank
this
the
one.
freeze for that.
Yeah, this one's over here behind a bunch of destroyable walls. Jump the fence.
Get out of this place. There's got to be a way, right?
So yeah, just a few weak destroyable walls and get a Riddler trophy at the end. check the map again for the umpteenth time this video, probably. We got some balloons down there. Gotta pop them. So what's you guys' favorite side mission in Arkham City? I know everyone's favorite side mission. I'd wager, but no one wants to admit it because everyone's spent the past 10 plus like 15 plus years since this game saga first started back in '09. Everyone spent every waking moment hating on them, but I'll say it. I'll say the quiet part out loud. I think everyone actually enjoys the Riddler side missions, but that's not the correct opinion to have, and everyone's supposed to hate it because there's like probably near on 1,000 Riddler trophies in all the games, in Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, and in Arkham Origins. With all the Riddler stuff combined, it's probably near on 1,000. Probably. I imagine someone's counted them all up. We got another environmental scan over here. We don't want to waste no time with combat, so just knock that guy out. We can scan it for another Riddler. Solved there for compulsionary purchase. And even more there for the Arkham story. Guys can, as always, you know what to do there if you want to. Check the map again for the 8,000th time. And I think we are getting close to where I trigger the story dialogue for Joker.
I know it.
Yeah, there's a telephone.
Hey, Max, it's me.
Yep, there's Joker.
While you were saving Miss Vale, I took the liberty of beefing up security at my steel mill. I'm sorry to have to break it to you, but I don't think that even you will be able to get in here. Oh, this is getting too emotional. I can barely bring myself to think of you dying out there. I keep thinking of you lying dead in the snow. It's the only thing that brings a smile to my face.
Okay, I'm pretty sure Joker's dialogue is done now. There, sorry if I missed the cue when he stopped talking, and there's more of the thug dialogue. They're trying to talk crap about Batman and all that. We'll have to teach them a lesson, but not this episode. But yeah, got some more Joker's dialogue. We got another Riddler trophy down there. I know I missed the phone there for Zaz. I wanted the Joker dialogue there, That, dialogue for Joker, that's only like the one time per playthrough. And Zaz, yes, you could say the same for Zaz, but, didn't want to cut out Joker's dialogue. Because I know a lot of people sometimes don't really listen to all the dialogue. They just skip it and want to do the story content as quickly as they can.
Please, it's not my fault.
Down here we got another political prisoner getting harassed. Can't have that. And we saved another political prisoner.
Target in sight.
And the Tiger helicopter there saw us for a little bit. And I know it's some.
Place is falling
Uh,
apart. There's no food.
I
Every
leave the
case is
industrial
packed.
area for a
Just keep
moment. I
talking.
don't recall why, though, off the top of my head. Even though I just watched it, I just watched all my footage back before starting the recording. Um, oh wait, no, I know. I think I left because I was trying to, finish a Zaz side mission. I was going to look for more
Must
telephones
have been Joker's plan.
since I missed his last one, but we don't do that quite yet. There's still a few more side missions we still have to do before we, kind of enter the point of no return for as far as the, main story content goes, guys. So, still got a little more time, just a little bit, not a whole lot. Oh, and I discovered something new on this run of my, on this for this Riddler trophy in my new game plus run. You don't actually need the freeze blast and the line launcher to get this one. If you're good enough with the gliding, you can actually dive bomb down and glide all the way to the pressure pad. I wish I would have known that in this playthrough and like the 15 other playthroughs I've had of this game, but hey, better late than never. I mean, you learn something new every day, it feels like playing these games. And, I learned that one in my new game plus playthrough, so there, all of you guys know that too now. So, if this is y'all's first time playing it, you don't need to wait until after you've beaten Mr. Freeze to have gotten that trophy. If you're good enough with the gliding, you can get that one at the start of the game. So the
Way
more you know.
Batman's getting back in his place. Front doors are sealed, and Joker's even fired up the furnaces so he can't come back in through the chimneys.
And
He'll come here,
I
look around for a new
think
route in, and kill 'em
now
all he
here
can.
is, I
Can't
believe, where
blame
we
him. Look at us.
leave the
Joker's
industrial
back, and
area
we're armed
now.
to the teeth.
We
Where
go
you
trying to,
going? We'll own Arkham
I
City
guess,
again.
force
We've
spawn
killed everyone who
the
stands against Joker.
telephones, I guess you could call, by just moving around the map. Don't know what I'm doing right here. I think I was thinking about stopping the episode here, but still had more time left in the
Millions more than
recording,
we
so I
can hear.
kept going. And as of this episode, at least, I have not recorded the Harley Quinn's Revenge DLC story. If you guys would like me to do that one as well, you guys can leave it down below in a
My
comment.
flesh is crying out.
And either the most comments
Find
I
my
see with
phone
that, or the
while I
most
have my
likes
fun.
on that comment saying that y'all'd like to see that, I can do it. Always up to doing more Batman. And here we finally answer the next Zaz telephone, and judging by how far away it is and the timer, we can roughly guess that it's back in Amusement Mile. And if you're good at kind of judging the distance and all of that by the meters from the ringing phone and how much time the game gives you, you can get fairly accurate on kind of guessing where the phone will be. Because if it's like 300 or 400 meters away, it's probably on the other side of the map.
Can you imagine what it was like, Batman? I was numb. I'd lost everything, and I was alone, crying like a baby staggering through the streets of the city, until I found the answer that I had been looking for. I stood there on the Sprang Bridge, looking out at the sea. I felt the warm breeze on my skin, and it felt right. I looked down and imagined myself falling into the blissful arms of my mother. And then he appeared. He held out the knife and demanded my money. My money! Can you believe it? I looked into his cold, desperate eyes, and I saw something familiar. Something inevitable. I saw oblivion. I saw that we are all the same, stuck on a miserable loop that demands salvation. So I gave it to him.
So yeah, and as you guys can tell, we are almost done with Mr. Zaz's side mission. We're almost done there. And we're almost done with this episode. Get a little more upgrading. I think we upgrade Catwoman here. Pretty sure, at least. Yeah, we do. We get her some more ballistic armor. So yeah, at this point, all we have left to do, in this one at least, is we do a bit more of the Watcher in the Wings side mission. And then at the very end, like the final few seconds thing we do, and it ends in a cliffhanger for you guys. We do Zaz's. We get another phone call from Zaz in the final seconds of the video, so that'll end on a cliffhanger for you guys if I'm able to answer the phone in time. Here's Batman's other stalker.
I have been watching you, Batman, to see if you are ready.
And this is the mysterious Watcher that, some of you guys have, this will be our first time actually starting it, the Watcher in the Wings mission. And this guy, how he works is, I'm positive, almost entirely positive, he's story progression locked. So even if you know all the areas where he's going to spawn, I'm almost positive he's locked behind story progression, the same way that like Deadshot is story progression locked and the Identity Thief is story progression locked, like main story. So it's better to kind of wait till you see there he is. Y'all might have saw the smoke there spawn kind of flash. That was him reappearing. So it's better just to wait to do this guy once you're near the end of the game, just to do it really quickly.
The prophecy spoke of.
Because his side mission, it's literally just this. He appears in the 4 major areas of around the map, and he says some vague stuff to Batman, and he leaves a symbol with some smoke and sparky flashes, and then he leaves. And then, you go to one of the other 4 major areas around the map, and then then he gives you a big old map of where his final place is that he wants to talk to you, and then his side mission's over. And here's Zaz's next phone we get.
Calling for Batman. Find my phone or I'll bleed this piggy.
And we do not answer this phone in this episode. And consider that a little cliffhanger for you guys if you're all wondering if I'm going to be able to hit the record button on the next episode and answer Zaz's phone and what little time I have left that you guys see here. And I'm gonna go ahead and do my outro at this time for you guys. You guys can enjoy the final minute. You guys know where the like button is and the subscribe button and where the comments are, and you guys all know what those do. I've been your host, the Gaming Dragon, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode and all of that. And I hope to see you guys in the next episode. And hope you guys have had a wonderful day, evening, or night. And I will see you guys in the next one.